Four more questions at 5 minutes. We can fit that in. All right, we're in. Dr. Eyolfson.
Thank you. Dr. Bearcat, I wanted to challenge you on one of the things you've said in the last round of questioning. You referred to marijuana being a gateway drug. Definitive textbooks on the subject, and we're talking just textbooks that are used in residency and for postgraduate fellowships for toxicology. Ellenhorn, medical toxicology, Goldfrank's toxicologic emergencies. These are the definitive textbooks on this. They're very, very clear that the concept of marijuana as a gateway drug has never been definitively established. This is also said repeatedly in multiple scientific journals on addiction in the meantime. Given that information, what is the basis of the statement you said about marijuana being a gateway drug?
The basis is the 30-plus years of observing, and the basis is also coming to the fore with the studies such as the United Kingdom study that I just quoted, only published this year, having terminated in 2016, where they followed kids from age 15 to 18 and saw a definite correlation between abuse of the three substances, nicotine, alcohol, and illicit drugs.
I agree there's correlation, and that is why that effect was always described.
Where the nuance is,
yes,
is the coexistence of a psychiatric disorder, most predominantly ADHD. See, when the ADHD goes unnoticed, then the kid self-medicates.
Oh, I will agree with you completely.
And then when you look at adult addicts, there is easily a 50% coexistence of addiction and ADHD.
Oh, on that, you and I are in complete agreement. There's a large proportion of addicts of all sorts of drugs that mental illness goes hand in hand with, where people will, self-medicate for mental illness. But this is a different issue. The issue that if you try marijuana, it's the gateway drug to harder things. There's many studies that show correlation. However, it's a difference in correlation and cause and effect. This has been studied for decades, and every time they saw a correlation, there were so many confounding factors and comorbidities that it was never firmly established that the marijuana as a gateway drug was ever definitively established. And to my best knowledge of the literature, it still hasn't been firmly established on that particular point.
Look, whether it's a gateway drug or not, it is deleterious to the cognitive development of
and on
the
that
young brain.
On that we agree.
On that we agree, and that's
Yes.
all you need to say. Because the whole thing about what we see is a very high correlation. Look, when I say that every addict that I treat started to use cannabis at the age of 12 to 13, I don't know the mechanism by which it happened, but it's a fact.
Oh yes, again, I'm saying that, but again, it goes to credibility. Something that Mr. Davies had said, that if we're teaching, our kids things, we want to make sure it's the right evidence, and we want to say the things that are credible, that they aren't going to look up somewhere and be disproven. The fact that it's deleterious to the developing brain, that is true. And, so we can say that definitively, they'll listen to that, it's credible. But I don't want the message to get mixed with other things where there's so much information out there that actually says this particular thing, if one of the things we say is don't do this because it's a gateway drug, and there's lots of evidence, then that's not the case or hasn't been established, then we can do more harm than good by promoting this narrative. That's
you can't scare people. It's like telling an alcoholic they're going to die of cirrhosis. He's not going to die of cirrhosis. He's going to have an automobile accident. He's going to make 1,000 people miserable, and he'll never have a happy life. I mean, that's the message you have to deal with.
Exactly. Thank you.
Thank you.